Hello, fellow Star Wars fans. My name is Starrapter, and I'm back to talk about some more Star Wars comics. We have two comics coming to us from Marvel this week. The first one is Han Solo and Chewbacca, issue number 6. This one's called Dead or Alive, part 1 of the 2-arc miniseries of 10 issues. This one, of course, is written by Mark Guggenheim with artwork by David Messina as well as Paul Fry on this one. So we are picking up with a brand new arc. Like I said, we have the Falcon that has been impounded by the Imperials, and then we have Han Solo missing in action after he gets shot point blank by Greedo, and then we have Chewbacca, who has been arrested and is in the same cell as Mas Kanata. So we pick up with Chewie, and he's fighting. They have these like underground kind of fighting rings that people are getting with entertainment as the prisoners there. So we get to see this great drawn out fight between a what is it called? The guy that looks like the Vizier of a Chagragan. Yes, we have a Chagragan versus Chewbacca. And then we have this, I guess she's a Ratataki type girl species, and she's helping getting this guy to stop attacking Chewie. And well, eventually what happens here is we have everybody kind of collaborating. We have Mas Kanata, this girl, thinks that she has some sort of plan to get Chewie out of there. So that's the one storyline. The other storyline is this whole crew that includes Tonga from the Bounty Hunters group, as well as Greedo and a few others. And it includes the fake Han's father. We have all them basically posing as Imperials, getting in and messing things up to where they can actually retrieve the Falcon. They are successful in doing that. My issue with this is there are these two female characters in these panels on this one page, and it is hard to figure out who is who at one point. And just by the hairstyles, I was able to figure it out. One, you can see their ears. The other one that is with the hair over the ears, that is Tonga. So I was like, okay, now I'm figuring out, but they could have done a better job to illustrate that these characters are separated because one's a real Imperial, one's an Imperial in disguise. So things got a little bit lost in translation there. And then we have Han Solo, who has been picked up by these brand new aliens. They look very much like they haven't left the planet, these aliens. They are new to Star Wars, the indigenous aliens of this planet, I'm guessing. And, well, Han Solo magically is alive, as we couldn't know that from watching A New Hope that takes place not so much further from the storyline, obviously. So, yes, this story was fine, I guess. Like, the artwork is really, really good. But this stuff, again, with the retrieval of the Falcon, kind of left me wanting a little bit more as things kind of got a little bit jumbled up with that. As far as the next issue we have to talk about, that is the great Doctor Aphra. This is Doctor Aphra issue number 26, I believe, or no, 24. This is called Descent, and it's written, of course, by Alyssa Wong with artwork by Minkyu Jung. And last we left off, we miraculously have found BT and 000. Yes, they are back in action. So we have this kind of drawn out fight. Well, I wouldn't say it's too drawn out, but it's a relatively quick fight in which we have all of Aphra's prior engagements, as you would like to say, including none other than Tolvin, and we have Son of Staros, and we have a couple of the other characters from earlier on in the timeline here. They are trying to get 000 and BT to stop firing, obviously, because they are the murder droids, as they would do. They want to murder. So they come to an agreement after Tolvin and Sana have, prior engagements with these droids. They're able to kind of come to an agreement like, hey, if you want to come with us, there's more meat bags for you to kill. So, of course, I love whenever they say meat bags because that is a reference to Knights of the Republic, specifically HK-47. Then we also have what's happening with Aphra. And the Spark Eternal has, of course, kind of possessed her body. So she's going through the stuff in her head. And now there's a Shadrafan from the Ascendant. Their name is Mural. And that's where we're getting these flashbacks where Aphra's living through the flashbacks. We've seen similar things like this before, but this is really cool because this is going way back in time to basically the creation of the Spark Eternal. And then you have the Sith that are still around at this time. We do not have an exact time, but there are these Sith called the Darkseekers. And the Darkseekers are there to basically hunt down threats to the Sith. So the Ascendant are not Force users, but they use technology to kind of mimic the Force with magnets and the thought dowsers and all these sorts of things. So the Dayseekers, the Darkseekers, are the brand new faction of Sith that we have never heard about before. So that's very cool. I'm hoping that we see more of these things in the future. But yeah, we see everything going on here, like with all this Sith, and you see Aphra just trying to kill, because we don't know exactly where this is. Like, it's like if she gets killed in this image, in his vision, will she die internally? Because her actual physical body is aboard the Vermilion, which is Kira's ship, and she's basically lifeless, just like living through her mind at that point. But it's a really cool thing because we're seeing all this kind of reconstruction of history from a different perspective, and Aphra's literally offing these Sith with her blaster at point blank range, and then you have this Sith Darkseeker Darkseeker that is literally force throwing lightsabers, and then you have Muriel using that glove to basically harness the lightsaber metal and throw it back, almost like a pseudo Jedi. But by the end of this, we find out what the actual purpose of the Spark Eternal is, and the Spark Eternal is a system that unifies the tech and the people's bodies together to even have more power. So for instance, if you have this Spark Eternal and you put on like the gloves, you equip the whip, and then they show that there is a Sith killer sword. So I think this is the end game for Kira, is why she wanted to get that Spark Eternal, why she has the Archivist trying to get this thing, is because if they are able to track down that, then they can harness the Sith killer sword, and even though they're not Force users, they might be able to stand toe-to-toe against the Sith that they want to eliminate, which is, of course, Darth Vader and the Emperor Palpatine. So yeah, it's a very good cliffhanger. Of course, Doctor Aphra, the quality is always great with the artwork, always great with the writing, of course. So I would expect nothing less of this great series. But that's it for the comics that came out this week. I want to know what you guys thought about the comics. Let me know in the comment section down below. I have been covering the Andor series. I just put up a recent companion video, as I like to call them, that kind of open up the canon of the Andor series, or whatever series I'm talking about that week, and elaborate a little bit more on some little Easter egg type of details, and they affect the entire galaxy as a whole. So make sure you go over there and check that video out, and do subscribe to the channel for more on Star Wars comics. That's going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.